Thierno Barry pointed to himself after flooring Villa as if to ask, "What's all the fuss about?" It has almost been a running joke on Merseyside about how long it's taken for the Frenchman to break his goal-scoring duck. Sign up for the football newsletter. Thank you. Thierno Barry got the only goal of the game credit. Reuters. Barry had struggled for goals but is now enjoying a hot streak credit. AFP. But after finally doing so last month, it appears habit-forming. A lovely dinked finish over Emi Martinez stopped Unai Emery's men in their tracks as they looked to close the gap on Premier League leaders Arsenal to just 4 points. It has looked at times as though the 23-year-old has been more Bambi on ice rather than ice-cold in front of goal. But after Villa's keeper could only push Dwight McNeil's effort to one side, Barry was there to produce a moment of skill in front of goal that few thought he was capable of. Read more on football. Perhaps that explained the goal reaction, but whatever, Villa only had themselves to blame for a moment of slapstick defending that ended costing them dear. In fact, Everton had started with a game plan, and could have profited from it within the first few moments of the match. Martin Roll sent an effort into the upright inside the first 11 seconds. The midfielder reacted quickest after Jordan Pickford thumped a ball upfield. Barry held off Pau Torres, the ball bouncing up off his knee, most read in football. Best free bets and betting sign-up offers. When it came down, Roll fired off a shot that went beyond keeper Martinez, only to crash into the foot of the post. But the Toffees were then relieved that Rodgers, making his 100th appearance in claret and blue, didn't mark the occasion by responding a few moments later. Emi Buendia escaped down the left and waited for the England man to find space. He managed to, but succeeded only in lifting his shot above the crossbar from 12 yards. But Villa suffered a blow in the 18th minute when skipper John McGinn lay on the turf, pointing at the inside of his right knee. The Scotland international limped out of the action moments later and was replaced by Evan Gesand. There was a puncturing of the atmosphere inside Villa Park as McGinn has been the very embodiment of everything good about the club's resurgence under Emery. But while they could count themselves unlucky not to be leading by the interval, they also enjoyed a major let-off. Everton's short corner routine in the 33rd minute allowed James Garner the chance to cross to the far post where Jake O'Brien nodded home. However, Moyes players had hardly finished whooping with delight when their celebrations were cut short by the assistant's flag. Harrison Armstrong had strayed into an offside position when Garner crossed, but with Villa Park holding its collective breath, VAR came down on the side of the hosts. Armstrong had been adjudged to have impeded Villa's defence by challenging for the ball. The big centre-half stood in the way, however, moments later when his knee prevented Rodgers from opening the scoring after another pull-back from the byline landed at his feet. And it was Villa who went into the interval with their tails up. Youri Tielemans provided an inviting cross and substitute Gesand rose at the far post, sending a looping header into the crossbar. Rodgers' runs from deep were causing all sorts of problems. On another day, Garner's shove on the England star on the edge of the area as the Villa star motored towards goal could have caused the visitors all sorts of problems. The midfielder had already been cautioned. This would have led to his dismissal. As it was, 2 minutes later, Everton took the lead. Jordan Pickford's long ball was the catalyst. Ezri Konsa managed to win the header but succeeded only in sending the ball into Barry. It rebounded off the forward into the path of bumbling Torres but bounced off his shins where McNeil picked it up. The winger let fly with that trusted left foot and Martinez could only parry the shot to the side where Barry reacted first. He delivered the most deft of dinks over the Argentine number 1 and, despite Conce's best efforts, it ended in the net. Villa took time to regroup, but Rodgers' afternoon of woe showed no sign of ending. Pickford tipped over another shot from the edge of the area. Frustration then began to grow in the stands as Everton refused to be cowed. Recommended stories. This was the start of a difficult week for Villa with trips to Turkey to face Fenerbahce and the northeast with a visit to Newcastle. But the loss of McGinn and Boubacar Kamara from their midfield reduced Emery's options and cost them the chance to turn the title race into a proper three-horse affair. Jake O'Brien had his header chalked off for offside credit. Getty, Ezri Konsa could not clear the chip finish off the line credit. Reuters. John McGinn went off with a worrying knee injury credit. Getty.